I started all over, everybody, because I got a message that the signal cut out, and it said that I had to end the broadcast. So I just redid the whole thing, and I'm starting all over. So if you didn't lose your patience and you're still here, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going with my demonstration because there's not much else I could do at this point. I've already got it made. And hopefully I'll see you in the comments section somewhere that you're still around. Let me know if you are. And the final thing that I'm going to add is some walnuts. And I will recap the ingredients here in a minute. So if you're watching, let me know. It shows that I am connected. Okay, it does show that I'm connected. And yeah, that's all. Okay. Give me a thumbs up or something if you're still watching. If not, I understand. And who knows why this is happening. I'm making some chopped walnuts. Okay, Lydia, thank you. Can you hear me and see me okay? Because I basically had to completely start a whole new, what do you call it, a whole new video, a whole new show, because it said that the signal strength was weak, and it kind of just booted me out. So here I am, I'm still here. Looks like, Lydia, you're the only one still watching. Thank you for being loyal. Okay, it's still cutting out a bit. You know, like I said, I live out in the country. Sometimes we have unstable internet, and this is one of those days, apparently. If it cuts out again, then I won't come back, but I'm almost done. So I'm putting 1/4 cup of walnuts. So to recap what I put in here, I put the cup of carrots, but remember I was supposed to set the carrots aside and let them dry out. And then in the food processor, I was supposed to put just the oats, almond butter, dates, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, salt, vanilla extract, and maple syrup, if you want maple syrup. So I did all that, but I mistakenly put the carrots in with all the other stuff, but I took most of them out. So if you look in my bowl, you can see that there are some, still, you can see plenty of pieces of carrots in here. So I didn't ruin it at all, and it's kind of chunky because I added 1/4 cup of walnuts. So the main ingredients to these carrot cake energy balls: carrots, oats, almond butter, dates for sweetness, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, salt, vanilla extra, maple syrup for sweetness, and 1/4 cup of walnuts. So that's the basic part, and I have to do a little taste test. Wow, it tastes like carrot cake. That's amazing. It really does. Huh. I didn't think it would taste so much like carrot cake. Huh. Hey, I think I came upon a way to eat carrot cake without having to make cake. How great for like Easter or, you know, spring, if you don't celebrate Easter, you know, just kind of a spring dessert that makes you think of something healthy, because it's called an energy ball. Okay, hi Angela, hi Karen. I'm glad you guys are patient enough to stick with me, because it's embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing when stuff like this happens, because I have no control over it, and it's not anything that I'm doing. I'm going to put my link to the bundle in here in case I forget. All right, so that's in there. So if you haven't gotten the bundle, be sure and get it because it's going to be gone here in a few days. I think we have until Sunday. Okay, so I have my little scoop. It's like a cookie scoop. That way they're all the same size. And they're not going to be perfectly round when you take them out of this, and then you take your hands and wet them a little bit and then make it round. I'm not sure how many this makes. Let's see what the recipe says. Makes 12 to 15 balls. And the size, they say, is depending on size. So I like using these cookie scoops because, you know, they're easy. They come right out. You don't have to get your hands dirty right away. Eventually you do. But yeah, if you like carrot cake, this has all the flavors of carrot cake without the flour and the sugar and the eggs. And it's gluten-free, I guess, because there's oats in it. And especially if you buy gluten-free oats, you know, not all oats are naturally gluten-free. So you have to make sure that the label says gluten-free. And a lot of, you know, I mean, you can find them easily enough. I think Quaker and different brands, Bob's Red Mill, they all have gluten-free oats, and they're labeled like that. So just because it's oats doesn't mean it's always going to be gluten-free. I think it's because they can't guarantee that it wasn't prepared in a place that had contamination. You know, saying something is gluten-free is risky if you're not 100% sure, because if there was contamination in the place you're cooking, like you used flour for something else and it was still there, you can't really say that it's gluten-free because, you know, maybe there's some flour on your stuff. Okay, I wet my hands a little too much. Wet your hands very slightly, just enough that you can roll these into nice looking balls. So just a light, you know, wet your hands, otherwise stuff will stick. And then you roll it into a ball. These are going to be good. I can already tell this would be a really good dessert because, you know, you just need one or two, and it's carrots. It's mainly carrots and oats and dates for sweetness. And then I did add the maple syrup just because I like things kind of sweet if they're a dessert, but I think it could have been fine without the maple syrup. So if you're making them for yourself and you don't require a lot of sweetness, then don't put the maple syrup in. So then the last step is to roll them in coconut. And I have unsweetened organic shredded coconut. And that's what I'm going to use. So don't use gigantic coconut flakes. Sometimes in stores, this made 3, 6, 9, 12. Sometimes in the store, all I can find is this gigantic flakes of coconut, which I don't really like that big chunks of coconut that much. So wash my hands. So that kind of aggravates me if that's all I can find. Okay, any questions, comments? Does this look like something you would make? If you bought the bundle already, have you made any recipes from it? And if so, what have you made that you liked? I'm getting stuff all over me. Okay, so now I've got my coconut. I've already got it in here. And if you hate coconut, guess what? You don't have to put it on. You can skip that part and just keep them naked. So those of you watching, would you put coconut or not? Say thumbs up if you like coconut, and thumbs down if you wouldn't use coconut. Well, I'm not seeing anything, so maybe we're frozen again. Coconut, no coconut. Somebody answer. The coconut actually makes it look really pretty. Okay. Nobody has an opinion. So I think I like the coconut. So I'm going to put coconut on them. And what could you substitute for the coconut? Let's say that you don't like coconut at all, but you want to put a coating on your energy balls because that makes them easier to transport. They're not sticky. So let's look at what are some other options for coatings on energy balls besides coconut. Anybody? Scroll down on this. All right, not hearing anything. Jill Baker, looks amazing. Half with and half without, okay. All right, so let's say that you didn't want coconut. So I'm gonna make something else real quick as an option, just to see how it works. You know, okay, people are answering, great. I was worried that it was cut out again. Carob powder, okay. That's a possibility. But you know, our recipe has walnuts in it. So I'm thinking that we could just finely chop up some walnuts and roll them in finely chopped walnuts. Or almonds, or, you know, any kind of nut that you like, pecans, anything. Or carob powder, or I don't think cacao powder would be good. And I would make sure you chop the nuts up really finely. Okay, I gotta go get my ice cream, everybody. So give me a second, don't go away, because we're gonna make some ice cream with balsamic fig stuff, okay? All right, so this works, and I gotta get my ice cream out of the freezer. I couldn't get it out early. So another option is nuts. It'll take me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, but I have to get my ice cream out because we're going to make ice cream here in a minute. Okay, so the option 2, walnuts. Okay, somebody said chopped pistachios, hemp seeds, yeah, ground pecans. Yeah, you can finely grind up your nuts in the food processor instead of doing it the hard way like me. But this is working for now, and we're almost done with this. So we'll do these in walnuts. They look so pretty. The balls look really pretty. You know, you could see the pieces of carrot in there. So it's not just like dough. That's why they had you set the carrots aside and not put them all on there. Okay, so your options are coconut or ground up nuts, and finer minced the better, because the big pieces won't stick. But ultimately, here's what you end up with. We have the ones with walnuts, and we have the ones with coconut. And I've already tasted it, so I know it's going to be good. And I'm going to move on to the next recipe. So you get a double recipe day today. Pistachios sound good. You know, I don't know, some of you may not know this, but one of the signature dishes in my retreat is pistachio energy balls. And I make these same kind of thing, but I use pistachios, almond butter, and spices and stuff, and I make it into like a dough, and then I roll it in pistachios. And those are wildly popular at my retreats. But there's one thing about pistachios. You may not know this, or you may know this. Does anyone know how much a pound of raw pistachios costs? Think about it for a minute and guess. Oh, kind of hot. Get some water here. They're about $25 a pound. Yes, $25 a pound for pistachios. That's pretty expensive. And, you know, you need a lot to make stuff. Okay, so we're going to make the next recipe. And I'm going to use my Ninja Creami. So I'm going to tell you what I'm making. I'm making fig balsamic vinegar on ice cream. And I'm going to get my recipe out to tell you a little bit more about it. It was in the California balsamic ebook. I found it, yeah, expensive. And so what they said, in my recipe, I had to change it up because they don't use a Ninja Creamy. They use just their blender. I buy mine from Wilderness Poets, huh? Expensive, yeah. I get them at the grocery store bulk section. Okay, so the California Balsamic put out a little bit of a cookbook, an ebook, and then some kind of coupons for their products. If you haven't bought the bundle, it's in the comments, the link to the bundle to purchase it from me, so you can get it. Be sure and get it before it expires on Sunday. A lot of people wait and then they forget about it and they say, oh, I'm going to get it, and they get busy. And then they contact me on Monday. This has happened, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they say, oh, I want to get that bundle. And then I have to say, I'm sorry, but they remove it Sunday night. You can't get it. So be sure and get it. Okay, so in the recipe, they said to take 3 figs and 2 frozen bananas and make it into nice cream like you would in your blender. Okay, your Vitamix. Well, I use my Ninja Creamy. How many of you have a Ninja Creamy? Answer in the comments if you have one. I'm going to plug mine in. If you have one, just comment if you have one. I don't see any comments. So how it works is there's a container, and then you put first let me explain this. Whatever you're going to use for ice cream, you put in this container and freeze it for 24 hours. So for 24 hours, I've had some mashed up bananas. I think it was 3.5 mashed up bananas and the equivalent of 3 figs. But I didn't have figs. Oh, okay. Sharon's has it, but it's only used it twice. I ran across a lot of people that bought the Ninja Creamy and it's still in a box in their pantry. And they bought it because I told them I was demonstrating these Ninja Creamy things, and they bought one and they were afraid to use it. So anyway, I have my own fig preserves because I have a fig tree in my backyard, and every year I make fig preserves. So I couldn't find figs at the grocery store. They had them, but they were out of them. So they had like scraps of figs. They didn't have any whole figs. So I put some fig preserves that I had in my pantry from my fig tree and bananas, and I froze them for 24 hours. That's all. And there's a little bit of almond milk in here, like 1/4 of a cup. And I just did it right in here. I just mashed them up and with a, like a little masher. So you can mash everything in a bowl and then put it in here, or you can do it right in here. And then you put it in the freezer on a flat surface and let it freeze for 24 hours. And then it's solid frozen, really hard. You let it sit out for just a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, 10 at the most. And then you put it in this other container here. And then you have to put the lid on it. And the lid goes just a certain way. You have to align it and then lock it. And if you don't have it in the exact spot, it won't lock. And then it sits down in the bottom of the machine a certain way. So it sits very straight with the handle in front. And then you rotate it. I'm kind of at a distance, but you rotate it to the right. So if you rotate it to the right, and then it locks into place. And once it locks into place, you pick your setting. I'm going to make turn it on. I'm going to do light ice cream. It's going to be noisy for a second. Wow. have not done any demos at the Veg Fest, but I'm open to it. And then you hold, there's a lever here that you hold and release it. I do demos at the State Fair of Texas. Okay, then you lift the cap off. And then what you're left with, and this is and then you take it out. This is the magic of the Ninja Creami, is you get your pint of ice cream, and here's the significant part about it, is it scoops up like ice cream. You can actually scoop it, and it's solid, and it stays together. It does not melt immediately. Like when you make your ice cream in the blender, it tends to be kind of unstable. So as soon as you start eating it, it starts melting. But when you make it in the Ninja Creami, it stays like real ice cream. And that's the beauty of the technology. And you can get more scoops out of this. And look how beautiful that is. And I know it tastes good. I make this all the time. And you can just make it with nothing but bananas. But adding the figs to it looks good. Doesn't that look good, everybody? So then, this recipe, remember, it's from the California Balsamic. And they have a fig balsamic vinegar. So what they said to do is, I have a spoon here. They said to spoon some vinegar over it. Balsamic vinegar. I'm not going to put a lot on it because I don't know how much I want, how much I like it. I have to put a little bit more on it. What if I don't like it? Then I've got vinegar all over my ice cream. Okay, so let's see how this tastes. Banana fig preserves or fresh fig ice cream with a little fig balsamic vinegar. That really is good. The banana ice cream with fig preserves is outstanding, because I can really taste my fig preserves. And then the little sharpness of the balsamic vinegar. That balsamic fig vinegar adds a really nice kind of a little sharpness to it. That's good. I like it. Now I can put this back in the freezer and I can respin it later tonight and have it again. Because once you put it back in the freezer, it freezes, and then you have to respin it, which is fine. It does the same thing. So how many of you have been hesitant to get a Ninja Creami because you weren't sure you'd ever use it? So if that's the case, there are some really good products out that show you how to use the Ninja Creami. Like Kathy Hester has a Ninja Creami course where she does some videos, and she's got a really good ebook. And I took her course and got the ebook, and that's how I got really good at making stuff in the Ninja Creami, is I took her course, you know, on my own. I just kind of went through and looked at the videos, not all of them, and then I printed out her Ninja Creami ebook, and then I would just experiment and make banana split, Ninja Creami, banana ice cream, and I would make all these different creamy concoctions. And my husband loves them, and he's not, like I told you before, he's not plant-based, so he'll eat anything, any kind of fruit, frozen fruit from the Ninja Creami. So I highly recommend it. It makes really good frozen desserts, and so much better than just using your blender, I think, because like I said, with the blender, it's a little unstable, and it will tend to melt as soon as it's been out for a while, and like this won't. You know, it will stay like ice cream for quite a while, and it has the hardness of ice cream too, which is incredible, because you know, like with the blender ice cream, it tends to kind of melt on your tongue immediately. It's more liquid, but this is more like a solid, like ice cream. Anyway, so those are my two recipes for today. The balsamic fig in the California Balsamic Cookbook, balsamic fig vinegar on banana fig ice cream. Oh my goodness, what a combination. And then the delicious carrot cake energy balls covered in either walnuts or coconut. And I have to say that you're supposed to put them in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. And that would probably improve them, even though they're really good. It's like eating carrot cakes. Lydia says, I love my Ninja Creamy. Great, I'm glad somebody has it. But this tastes like you're eating a piece of carrot cake, but it doesn't have all the guilt of carrot cake because doesn't have the flour or the butter or the sugar. It just has some dates and some maple syrup. So, yum, double yum. And these recipes are in the bundle. So, why would you buy the bundle? Well, Karen says, I love Kathy's course and love my Ninja. Great. I make stuff from there all the time. You know, it's cheap too. If you have some berries that are getting kind of old, you can just mash them up and put some almond milk with them and stick them in one of these. I have about 7 of these containers. Put it in the freezer for 24 hours and then spin it, and you have strawberry ice cream, and it's good. But if you want these recipes, they're in the bundle, and mine is also in there. I didn't even talk about my ebook. I don't even know where it's at anymore. Here it is. Plant-Based Japanese. And I'll be posting some more of my recipes later today. I'm posting pictures of them. So, you know, I have a lot of great recipes in here that make good meals that people like, especially if you get tired of the same old thing. You get tired of potatoes and beans and rice, you know, and you think, a lot of people like Japanese restaurants. And, you know, you can't get that many plant-based, no oil things in a Japanese restaurants. But in my recipes, I've taken Japanese restaurant favorites and transformed them without oil. And, you know, they turn out really good. So you can get what you can't get in a Japanese restaurant and make it yourself, and it's not that difficult. So I put my link to the bundle here. Lydia says, thanks for the demonstration. You're welcome. I'll be doing one tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow morning sometime. Probably, I think I'm going to go back to the early time tomorrow morning, so hopefully at 9 o'clock. I have to decide how ambitious I'm going to get tomorrow and what I'm going to make, because there's only so much I can do in a day. So I'll see what I feel like doing tomorrow, but I'll make something from the bundle tomorrow morning, and I'll post it as soon as I can so that you'll know ahead of time. Hopefully, I won't have so many internet signal problems tomorrow, but I was able to just start all over again, and it seemed to help. So thank you all for watching. I don't see any questions. I see people saying Patricia's going to make them. Lydia, Karen, Steph, thank you guys for sticking with me, and I really appreciate it. And if you've already got the bundle, I appreciate that too. And I hope that you make good use of it and enjoy it. I know I'm certainly enjoying my copy of it, because when we're contributors, we get our own copy of it. So that's how I know all the stuff that's in it, because I've been looking at all the different ebooks and different books, and I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, I keep printing out. I'll show you one I printed out. I don't print out too many things, but I printed out another one today. Besides my own, I printed out Rise and Shine. And this is, I was on her show today, Ellen Allard, and I just liked her recipe. She had all these really good steel-cut oats, savory, sweet. She has a baked carrot cake, candied ginger oatmeal. She has all kinds of really good oatmeal recipes in here. So I printed hers out. I said, I'm going to learn some stuff from her. I'm going to make some really good oatmeal recipes that somebody else made. And I made hers on Monday. I made pecan pie oatmeal, and it was so good that I went in and I printed out her whole ebook. Getting in late, I'll watch the replay. M. Pennington. Yeah, I made carrot cake energy balls, and they turned out fantastic. It tastes like you're eating a piece of carrot cake without all the guilt of carrot cake. And then the other thing I made was the banana and ice cream with fig preserves and fig balsamic vinegar. And it's holding together quite nicely, even though it's been sitting here for a while. So that's the beauty of the Ninja Creamy stuff. All right, everybody, I'm going to get off now. I still have a lot of stuff to do for the rest of the day. So it was great having you on my live stream. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully about 9 o'clock. Bye, everybody.